that polar blast is sweeping up the South Island, disrupting flights and causing treacherous road conditions. The storm has seen snow fall throughout Otago. Inter-island ferries have been cancelled from tomorrow night as severe weather is predicted to move up the country. Tairi College student Ben Hawke produces his own daily weather forecasts on a Facebook page called Dunedin Weather, but by a 12-year-old. Now, we had Ben on the program last week, and we thought we'd get him back for his take on the weather, because he is our man or boy or whatever you are at that age on the ground. He spoke to me a short time ago via Skype from his home in Mosgiel.
What's happened is there's been this big front. It's brought snow to alpine areas, but it's been mostly rain, even for the places you'd expect snowing. And that's kind of been the start of this low, because there's kind of a high over in Australia that's pushing cold air off the Southern Ocean, not off Antarctica, but off the Southern Ocean, up into New Zealand. And there's a subtropical low a bit further up that's feeding moisture into that, which is our main concern with the snow. The South Island is what's looking it's only going to really affect people on the South Island, and only on the part of the East Coast and all of the Central. The West Coast is looking pretty rainy, and warm for snow standards, and places like the Central Plateau and possibly the higher parts around Taupo and places like that, they will see a bit of snow, but I am not sure about those places, as it's very choppy and changey as you go north because of how far away it is to where the systems originated.
Ben, we had Georgina Griffiths on the program last night from the Met Service, and she was making a reasonably similar forecast. So you're kind of agreeing with the Met Service on lots of this. Do you see any differences between what you are forecasting and what they are forecasting? Are you picking anything different from what they're saying?
They have kind of beat around the bush talking about Dunedin and Southland, because they can't, because they don't have a radar in Dunedin, they can't really be certain, so they're kind of beating around the bush there. And with Southland, they've kind of maybe been a bit more liberal with the forecast than I would have been if I were them.
So no beating around the bush and no being liberal from you, Ben. You just tell it like it is.
Yeah, and if you are, say, in Dunedin, and you're in the real low-lying parts, I wouldn't get excited, because this system isn't a storm. It's just some cold air that's come up from the Southern Ocean, not the ice caps or anything, and it's mixed with a subtropical low, which was just going to bring rain to the more northern parts of the country. But this cold air is kind of drawing it down, and that is where the threat of heavy snow above 100 or 200 metres has originated.
Not beating about the bush. That's Ben Hawke with his forecasts from Dunedin. It's pretty grim however you look at it, but both the Met Service and Ben himself say the worst is yet to come.